Peace. Welcome to a 33rd experience. We outside. It was nice out, man. It's about to get dark, but we outside. Real quick, astrology one-on-one basic session. Let's talk about how these placements that you have in your natal chart can make your persona here on this physical plane. Because a lot of people might look at the newspaper and they'll see the horoscope in the back and they'll see that all Scorpios are doing this in the month of March, and that gives off a false claim and a false understanding as to what astrology really is, because that gives you about 15 to 20% eye look as to what's going on with your natal chart. So if you really want to get a deep understanding, you have to open up this natal chart and deal with the planets and the positions, because each planet and position has a signature that we talked about in the progression wheel, and the signatures all meld together and have conversations. The planets have conversations with each other, and they personify energy out here on this physical plane and physical realm. So you have your rising sign. Your rising sign is where the horizon was when you was born. So you might have a Virgo on the rising. So that just simply means that you appear to the world as a Virgo, and that also will mean that the Virgo energy is dominant to who you may be. So the psyche can kind of really be intertwined in the rising. Your sun sign is the most known and the most widely used sign. People walk around and say that they're a Libra, and I'm a Capricorn, and that and this, and that's typically referencing your sun sign and only your sun sign. That is your ego, and that is a part of your defense mechanism, kind of your protector. It's also the person that you want to be, the person that you have a look to be. That's who you kind of that's kind of like your model, your role model, your sun sign. That's who you want to be like. So you strive to be like that energy. And you move along to your moon sign, which is a little more particular, because this moon sign is all about the energy quality on your emotional state of mind, your emotional state of being. And that is very different than your sun sign. So your emotional state of being could be a totally different energy signature, and that totally different energy signature comes along with totally different vibes. So you could be a Capricorn, but if your moon sign is Virgo, you'll be totally different Capricorn than a Cap with a Taurus moon. And to understand these energies, like I said, once you understand your energy, you maximize that ability and capability. You don't overdo it or you don't underdo it. You know exactly where to calibrate that energy, and you can output it as you see fit. So once you move from the moon, you have your Venus sign. Your Venus sign is your love quality, your aspect that you indulge in, that you want to indulge in, that you really, really seek beauty in, and also the way that you receive love is encapsulated in this energy signature of Venus. So the Venus signature will definitely tell you how you want to be loved, or even how your partner that you seek to love will be like or should be like, because everything on this physical plane is a expression or reflection of yourself. So if you have a partner, your partner is totally a reflection of yourself. So whatever energy that you encapsulate is going to embody exactly what it needs. And that's the easiest way to understand if you with the right person. You can check that Venus out, see if it balances out. Get a synastry chart put together. Put two natal charts together, yours and your partner's, and just figure out, where these placements lay at, and see how they correlate with your being, with your energy. So you have Mars as well. The Mars energy is going to show you how you move around to do things, how you express that passionate side of yourself, how you express that sexual side of yourself. How do you defend yourself? How do you fight? All of these physical things. It'll give you an energy signature particular to what is in your chart. So you have Mars, you have Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Those are all outer planets, and each one of them have particular signatures. Just like Jupiter is all about the philosophy and the connection to source. So your Jupiter quality can explain to you how you achieve or seek to achieve this connection to source. And that's very important. You want to connect to source, connect to the higher power. That's the Jupiterian quality. So find out where Jupiter is in your chart. It'll explain to you the easiest way to get to a connection to your source, your God, your being that is ultimately in control of you. So you have Saturn. Saturn is the father clock, the old school fool. He don't play around. He don't mess around. He don't take no stuff. He straight wants you to get that job done. And if you don't get it done, you'll do it over. And if you don't get it done that time, you'll stay there and you'll continue to repeat things until it gets done, because Saturn is ultimately the judge that needs you to understand this point of view. And his point of view is usually a hard lesson, a karmic lesson that has come back from your past life, or your, however you want to look at it, a challenge that is now needed to overcome in this life. So check your Saturn out, and your Saturn is going to tell you where you have some limitations at, where you're going to have some new understandings that need to grow right there, and you're not going to be able to move forward until you really grasp those Saturnian understandings, which can be after 30 years old typically, because you have a Saturn return which goes all the way around the wheel and fills itself out. You have a Neptune placement, and the Neptune placement can show you where your dreamy side is, where your also connection to source is, but mostly your creative self, your unseen self, your more hidden self, kind of like a dream-like vibe. But that Neptunian quality can really show you how you can become creative, and how you can create things, and how you can also become into service of others and humanity. So that's a very important space as well. You have the Uranus position, which is a very unique space. It's the all-knower. So this is the place that has the intuitive wherewithal to know what's next, and to know what to do, and how to output it with a mental awareness that is very capable to reach anybody's capacity. So that is very important as well. It's also the space where you're going to see things a little bit different than others, because the Uranus energy is very unique and specific to oneself. So where you see that Uranus at, you're going to want to see things different. So say you got the Uranus in your 7th house, which rules relationships. You're going to seek a relationship is maybe different. You're going to seek a different type of relationship. Maybe, like relationship patterns might be different for you versus, Uranus in the 8th house, 7th house, or 6th house. But check that placement out. The Pluto is the far out planet, and that far out planet really wants to transform and transcend. So whenever you see your Pluto in that space, that's gonna automatically give you an indication that throughout your lifetime you're gonna have a transformation in this space, in the way you think, move, or act, and in that form. So Pluto is an important one to keep up with as well, because you want to see how you dig deep in order to transform and change the expression that is on the table for that Pluto energy. You have a north node, you have a south node, you have part of fortune, you have Black Lilith, and all of these different placements give an added layer to who you tend to become on this physical realm and plane. And that's the most important thing about this astrology. It's very key to encapsulating your energy. It's it's not about telling the future, and it's not about being a psychic. It's all about encapsulating and understanding the energy that you possess, so that you can manifest and shift it as you see fit. Very key, very important. So we'll build on each one of these planets very soon, but that's a very basic breakdown, astrology 101, on how to begin to break down a natal chart and figure out what's telling you what. You understand? And like I said, if you needed help with that, send me your natal chart, moredreams.com, and we'll get into it. Until then, y'all have a blessed one. Peace, love, and light.